Hi, I'm Dan Hernandez. I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of Sport Fishing. But today we're back aboard the Sea Angler out of San Pedro, California. We're starting off right now, bottom fishing, looking for sculpin, rockfish. You never know what to expect. And hopefully later in today's episode, we'll be doing some surface fishing, probably calico bass, maybe a barracuda or two. You never know what can happen out here. I got a little fish coming up right now. Let's see what I got going here. Here comes my fish. 2 sand dabs. 2 sand dabs, not what we're trying to catch. Hopefully we'll get some sculpin, but these are delicious fish too. So stay tuned for this week's exciting episode of Sport Fishing. I'm Dan Hernandez and I live to fish. That's a nice vermilion right there. Yeah, this is what fishing's like. I have been fishing along the Pacific coast my entire life. Let me bring you in the action and share with you some great fishing tips along the way.
Nice one, babe. Hold it up. The Sculpin. Sculpin on a B-52. I caught it on squid head, actually. I went all the way down and then drilled up like twice and hit it really quick. Super quick. All right, man. Beautiful sand dab. Yeah. There you go. Sand dab.
Here's color. There's a sand dab. Well, this is a good eating fish or rockfish. It looks like a halibut, but it's not. It's a sand dab. This isn't our target species. We're trying to get sculpin right now. Lots of the other people are getting them, so I'm going to get one too in a second.
Oh, doubles right now. I got a nice double eagle. All right. What's up, bud? What number are you? The bigger of the two right here on the bucktail. Yes, Mom. Oh.
There we go. There's a little sculpin here.
An exotic.
Yeah. Right on, Paige.
You see the rig I'm using? I got 2 bucktails and just fishing it with the strip of squid. And bucktails for the sculpin seem to be working really good. It's a little guy. Just go ahead and let him go. All right, well, let's take a little break from the action and go to the tackle box and give you a good look at the gear we're using for today's trip. This week in the tackle box, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing today. We're fishing for sculpin, and there's lots of ways to catch them. My favorite way is to use a bucktail. Now, if you're going to target just, really nice big sculpins in that shallower water, you can get by with the 4 or 6 ounce bucktail. But when you get in this deeper water like we are today aboard the Sea Angler, you got to go with a double dropper loop rig with the bucktails in it and a heavier sinker, sometimes 12 ounces, sometimes 10 ounces. Today we're getting away with a little bit lighter, like 8 ounces and 10 ounces, and it's working fine. But the way you tie your dropper loop rig, it's really simple. You just take your monofilament and you take your bucktail, and it doesn't really matter if you use, what color head. I like the glow in the dark for that deep water. I also like chrome. White's always a real popular color too for sculpin. They seem to like that a lot with the squid on it. So you just slide your bucktail in there, you put it over, you go 5 times, and then you take your bucktail and you stick it right through the opening. And before you cinch it all the way down, you want to wet it, and then just cinch it down. And that's the way it'll look, just like that. You're going to do this twice, and you want to space them far enough apart so if you hook a sculpin that weighs a couple pounds, it's not going to be so close that one fish won't be able to find the other bucktail. You want to have them spaced out far enough you can catch 2 fish at a time. And again, a nice loop like that, you put your sinker on the bottom, you can go all the way to the bottom with your sinker and then just raise it up a couple of feet and then drop it down, a couple of feet and drop it down. Now the main reason we like to use a bucktail is that if you use just a straight hook and you're down fishing over 100 feet, 200 feet like we are today, and what happens is the fish comes and he pulls the squid off it, then you just have a hook sitting there and you're not going to get bit. But with the bucktail, it's going to flutter in the water, that bucktail is going to pulsate, and it's going to attract those sculpin, and they're going to come over and bite it. It works really good. The deckhands have told me for years that they've been using the bucktails to catch fish with it, and these are great baits. They work just really good for this type of fishing. So if you're in deep water like this, you want to use the double dropper loop rig with 2 bucktails with a heavy sinker. If you're in shallower water, 100 feet or less, go ahead and just fish a single bucktail, 4 or 6 ounce model, work it right on the bottom with the whole squid, and you'll get even bigger sculpins too. All right, well, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing.
Just fishing with a dropper loop with 2 hooks with squid and with the 8 ounce sinker, and just fishing for the sculpin. All right. Nice legal on top and a little bit short on the bottom. That is a good move. There we go.
Well, we left the dock this morning, going to fish sculpin, one of the sculpin spots. Throwing on a ounce B52 bucktail to a 8 ounce sinker. Whole squid on the bottom. Just wait for them to eat it. And then you could get another one with another bucktail, but I don't have one. But nice sculpin right here. Getting the limit.
Got color. Go. Jig. Thanks, Dad. We're fishing this area. It's called Rock Pile. It's a hard bottom area, not too far from the oil rigs. There's a couple of other sport boats in this area, and everybody's catching sculpin. Pretty soon we have limits of sculpin, and we're gonna have to go find something else to catch. And hopefully we'll get some calicos today, and maybe even a barracuda or two. I got some coming in now. So I'm just fishing 2 bucktails, straight down on a dropper loop rig. I got a 25-pound test line on here. Just winding it in nice and easy. You don't want to go too fast because it'll spin the fish off. So, see what I got. There's color. Feel some shaking. Looks like a sculpin. Yeah, it's a sculpin. There's a sculpin. On a white bucktail. This one might be legal. He's awfully close. A little too close. That's what we're trying to catch, sculpin. You have to be careful with these, they're poisonous. They won't kill you or anything, but it's like a bad bee sting. All these spines right here all have venom in them. And every sharp point you see on it has one of those little spines like that. And it can really hurt you. We'll go ahead and let this guy go. Catch him when he's bigger.
Hi, my name is Mike Schott. I'm the director of the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium. Scorpion fish, or sculpin, are another animal you find locally. They eat squid, they eat small crustaceans, they eat small fish like anchovies. These are poisonous fish in that they have poison in the spines on their back and the spines on the side of their head. If you were to reach down to take your hook out, if you were lucky enough to catch one of these good-eating fish, then you might get a spine in your hand, and if the poison gets inside, it will actually cause your hand to swell up and you'll get very sick. That's why when people catch these on boats, because they are found in deeper water, the crew many times will come over with gloves and take them off the hook for you.
On the bucktail.
On the B52 bucktail.
I'm gonna get one 2-sided figure too.
There you go, Ron. Oh, this is a nice one.
That's a nice one. Ooh. Looks like that fish is from Jurassic Park. Oh my God.
I'm gonna get you some takes to the rest of the season.
Well, he was not going anywhere, that's for sure. All right, buddy.
There you go. Well, that's not a smooth on shark here. I can tell he's a male because he's got his claspers there for hanging on to all the ladies. And let's say sayonara. Later, bud. Stand out.
Takes a skilled fisherman to get him right in the belly. On the bucktail.
There's another one. Another legal sculpin. Oh, we're picking away here where the sea angler. Here, Frank's got a double right here. And he's using the B52 bucktails. And he's got a whole squid on one, strips on the other. Doing pretty good. Son's fishing over here. Tony and his dad's over here. Victor and his daughter. Everyone's having a lot of fun. We're getting a lot of fish. Lots of sculpin. There's another nice sculpin right here. So what we're going to do right now is take a little break from the action aboard the Sea Angler and go to the galley and show you how to cook up one of these delicious fish that we're catching today. This week in the galley, we're down in La Jolla, California at Catania. Standing next to me is Chef Vince. And Vince, thanks for having us down, Chef.
No problem.
So what do you have in store for us?
This is a little bit of andouille stuffed sardines. So sardines are plentiful here in our waters, also very, very popular in Italy. We have some house-made andouille sausage, which is kind of a spicy, soft salami, if you will.
Cool.
So this is a play on a little dish that we had in Italy not too long ago. We have some skewers here. Sardines, we've taken the fillet off, stuffed the andouille inside, and then rolled up, a little bay leaf in between, and stuffed right through a skewer.
Cool.
All right. So we have one rolling over here already. I got a nice hot wood fire grill. As you can see, we just want to kind of bubble that nice skin up a little bit. I also have a lemon charring because we're going to finish our plate with that. And right over here, I'm going to squeeze right behind you into my wood fire oven. A little bit of olive oil. We also have some house-cured olives and cipollini onions that we've roasted off a little bit earlier. Thank you. And the sweetness of the onions, saltiness of the olives, the freshness of the fish, the smokiness of the salami are all going to work really well together.
Cool.
So we're just going to stick this in our oven. Get a little heat on it. All right, so our sardines are finished. We know they're finished, like I said, when they have a nice little crispy skin on the outside like that, looking nice and bubbly. So what we're going to do is I got a little wood plank here. I'm going to grab my hot olives and my onions. Off to the side, just make a little bed. Oop.
So if
Where
you
the
don't
sardines
have
to lay on.
a pizza oven at home, would you do this, like saute them on a
Absolutely,
hot pan,
or in a really hot oven, in a hot pan, either way. We're fortunate enough to have the wood fire grill, which just adds so much flavor, you know?
Cool.
So a little bed of that guy there. We're gonna put our sardine skewers right over the top. We're gonna finish this with a little bit of olive oil as well. And what I've done is I went ahead and I charred a lemon. And charring the lemon just gives it a little bit of sweetness. It brings the sugars out in the lemon so it's not as tart.
Cool.
And I think it's a nice little beautiful dish. It's delicious. We just take it, go right over the top with the lemon juice.
All right, Chef, I gotta try this out.
Please do.
I haven't had very many sardine dishes. So do I want a piece of onion with
A little
that?
bit of
Chef?
onion for sweetness, yeah. Then just
Cut one of these up
just like that.
and just kind of dive in.
Dive in.
That's really tasty.
You like that?
Yeah. I never thought of putting meat together with the fish.
With the
and
fish?
stuff it. The onion too, that tastes good. And you taste the lemon on top too.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, Chef.
Appreciate it.
And tell our viewers where we are.
Catania in La Jolla, please come on down.
Brand new restaurant in La Jolla. Great dishes like this. Seems like your theme is a lot of Italian food.
Coastal Italian cuisine. Yeah, we're pulling from all over Italy. We have meats and stuff like that on the menu, but we really enjoy our fish as well.
All right, well, thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Well, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing. There's a nice one. Father and son combo.
This is why we bring the girls. They teach all the rest of us boys how to fish. Right? That's why they bring you?
That's right.
I thought so. There we go. Good job, girl.
Thank you.
Going on this twin-tailed creature here. This contraption here. One more sculpin aboard the sea anchor. Way to go.
Thank you.
Nice, Sculpin. All right, spray.
As soon as it gets brown, nice one inside. Oh, look at that, Bradley. That's a nice.
Nice fish on the bucktail.
All right, guys. Today we're fishing Sculpin here on the Sea Angler, right out of the 150, or another, also known as the Triad. Right here, we're cutting up this squid here, cutting it up in strips, just so it's easier to handle, easier to put on the hooks, and cut it, sort of weave it on the hooks, and so it flutters. Everyone here is catching plenty of Sculpin. Everyone's gonna have a nice dinner tonight. But basically, this is what we're using for bait: squid, lots of it.
Well, it's just a fine line with a little anchovy.
let it take line a little bit, and here we go. A lot of fun. Try to beat the sea lion with this. Thank you.
An exotic.
Yeah. Right on, Paige.
There's all kinds of seals here. They're charging my fish. Let's see if you can get them right here. Here comes color. That's what's left of it. Here's a left of my barracuda. That was a nice barracuda. That's part of the reason we don't like seals. All right, we're gonna take a little break from the action. When we return, I'll be giving you this week's tip of the week. For this week's tip of the week, I want to talk to you a little bit about how we caught the fish today. And the number one way was using B52 bucktails. We used 2 bucktails and a dropper loop rig, big sinker on the bottom, 2 bucktails up above, and the bucktail would just pulsate in the water and all those sculpin would come on there and bite. Most of the people that got their quick limits were using bucktails, and that's this week's tip of the week. When you get into a good sculpin bite, make sure you're using bucktails. Well, I want to thank the crew aboard the Sea Angler. They did a great job. We had lots of fun fishing with them today. I know all our passengers had fun too. Well, I'm Dan Hernandez, hoping you enjoyed this week's episode of Sport Fishing, and I hope you join us again next week as we go looking for more of the best in sport fishing.